Enlightenment series. Want to welcome you on Facebook, on YouTube. If you have not already followed the page on Facebook or liked the page on Facebook, please, if you would like the page. If you have not already subscribed on YouTube and you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Jay Moore, and I'm your healthy accountant. And as your healthy accountant, we want to help you to account for your life. This particular series is about accounting for the spiritual connection that we all must have. Like we all must have us. We all are spiritual beings, and so this program is all about connecting your infinite spiritual being with the source. And so I want to welcome you today. Guys, we're talking about, this week we're talking about creation in the beginning. And so I think Monday we talked about, what did we talk about on Monday? Monday we talked about something out of nothing. Yesterday we talked about eyes opening, and today forming clear views. And so we're going to go straight to Genesis chapter 1 in verse 9 and 10. And it says, "The next day God said, let water covering the earth be collected in certain places, and in other places let dry land appear. And it happened, God called the dry land earth, and the collected waters seas. And he was pleased with what he had done. Then God said, let grass grow on the earth, as well as plants that produce seeds, and fruit trees with seeds in the fruit, so they can reproduce themselves. And that's what happened. Instantly, the earth produced fruit-bearing plants and trees in abundance, and God was pleased. The nighttime and the daytime marked the end of the third day, forming clear views." So as I read this text hundreds of times. I've looked at it, I've studied it, and what is the clear view that God wants us to see in this creation process? The clear view is, it's in a word that is called, I believe, seed. And the clear view for me is that the seed will reproduce itself. The seed is going to reproduce itself. I'm going to create something that will reproduce itself. I will not have to create that thing again. See, what God did is that he had a clear view of where it was he was going. It was crystal clear. There was no happenstance. There was nothing that he was doing that he was not certain about. That was a word that I woke up with this morning, and I was racking my brain because I had forgotten this word. And over the past, 15 minutes, I was like, why did I forget the word? I know that that's a powerful word. I know that I need this word. And the word is certainty. Certainty. He had certainty. He has ultimate certainty because God is, God is. And because of the certainty, he knew, he says, well, look, I'm going to do something, and then I'm going to go back to doing what I'm doing. And I'm not coming back here to produce this thing again. Guys, I want to stop here, because how many times have you had to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over, and you keep having to do it? You keep having to spend your own time, when time is the biggest asset on this planet. Time is not money, not stuff, but time is. See, a lot of times we don't understand this clear view. A lot of times we don't understand how to think things clear, how to have certainty in our life so that we can do what it is that we were called to do. Do you even know what you were called to do in your life? And you don't have to answer this question. I want you to think about this question. Do you know what you've been called to do? Now, it's an interesting thing sometimes, the different things that we have to do, right? I had to go through my life. I became an accountant. And what I learned is that I wasn't necessarily called to be an accountant. I was called to account, absolutely. But accounting is the platform that I must use. It's kind of like an athlete. An athlete is gifted, right? An athlete is going to play the game, but that's their platform to do something. Now, they don't always do anything. Most athletes, most people that's famous, they don't always use their platform to to build something bigger than what it is that they were given. It's not usual. But when you see the rare ones take their platforms and they leverage them for many other things, that's when they have formed a clear view of where it is that they're going. Just take a notice, like say LeBron James. LeBron James, he's a gifted athlete. Now, that is his absolute gift. Absolutely, it's his gift. But I can guarantee if I sat down with LeBron James, I'd find out more things about him, more things that he's gifted at, because he's using that one gift. So he's using that one gift to a very high level, which spills over into other things. Now he takes something in his life, like I didn't have a dad, and he's leveraging that situation, building schools, building up young kids, being a mentor, allowing people to have more because of him. See, he's formed a clear view as to what his platform is all about. See, this clear view that God is showing me in this text, where he's saying, hey, here's the dry land, right? So he cleared everything. He had already created the day and the night. He had already created light. He had already taken this mass and decided that this mass would be something. But now he's looking over and he's thinking, he's like, you got dry land, we got some water. Man, this is gonna look good. This is gonna be good. He's probably thinking to himself, I can't wait. I can't wait till all of these things and all of these other things are going to be populated here. But he had to set it up. He had to set it up to where he got these, he said, I got to create these trees and this grass so that they will continue to grow over and over through, he didn't even, we didn't even talk about the seasons, but over and over, he's going to create these seeds. What seeds coming out of your life? What kind of seeds are coming out of your life? What's growing that's good and that you don't have to go back and create? I'm gonna tell you, I've been on the quest. Right? Grew up in the inner city, Newark, New Jersey. Lived there 19 years. My first 19. And as I'm recollecting all of the things that I experienced there, hey, I'm sure there was a lot of negativity, because the fruits of the fruit of what I started to produce in life was not what I wanted. Yeah, I had some successes and things of that nature, finished, college, but the fruits that I really wanted were not being produced. And I was well, why is that? So I got a couple of books on my desk, right? One book, The 1 Minute Million. I've had this book. I talked about this yesterday. I had this book for a few years. One of the first books I ever purchased. It's two books in one. I read the story part. I zipped through the story. I think I read that story. I finished it yesterday. I started it on Monday because I picked it up. I was like, oh, this is good. So now I'm starting through the other section of it, which is another part of it. But I'm also reading the book Principles by Ray Dalio. And I got to a point in the 1 Minute Millionaire where it talked about principles this morning. And so I had to underline this as a moment of reflection and understanding the clear view. Your life is run by principles. And because it's run by principles, you have to know what principles you're run by. This is what Ray Dalio talks about in his book. I'm sitting like, man, look at how it all works out. It all works out because of the principles. And what I had, now I had principles growing up. Grew up in a Christian family. So we had a Christian basis. Now here's the thing about the Christian basis is that most Christians aren't living out the principles in a way that the seeds are reproducing in a way that they want. See, this clear view thing is big because these seeds, this grass, these trees, this dry land, this water mass that now God created sees, this is serious because that's the foundation. You need water. You need water and you need ground to have these seeds. You need water and you need ground to have these trees for it to constantly reproduce. And so here it is. God sees it. I'm talking, he's looking out. Have you ever been on the beach? Have you ever, gone somewhere like, where I live, there's just a bunch of houses. So, but times when you can just look out and just look into almost nothing. Right? It like if you're on the beach and you were looking out towards the water, all you would see is water and possibilities. If you were in a desert, all you would see is sand and possibilities. So I want you to just kind of picture a moment in time where you're standing on land, but there's nothing on the land. The only thing that's on the land is you and land. There could be water. You could have the ocean there, but I just want you to picture right now, just looking out. And how does it feel to just look out and see possibilities? How does that feel? See, because on day one, when we talked about possibilities start from nothing. And they start from nothing because at some point your view of what the possibilities are have to become very clear. Clear vision is another phrase that I woke up with this morning. It has to be clear. It has to be crystal. It has to be crystal clear. So you've got certainty. You've got to be certain in everything you do. You got to have a clear vision. You must have courage. See, because when you start seeing possibilities for your life, something's going to happen. There's a little man, there's a little woman inside of you that's ready to tell you something. Actually, there's two of them. The first one's going to say, you can't do it. The first one's going to say, man, you suck. Man, you overweight. Man, you got bad relationships. Man, you ain't got no money. Man, you ain't never accomplished nothing. You suck. Don't even try it. Just stay the same. Then you've got that other person inside that's going to be like, well, what if it did happen? And, don't you think you can do this? I think you can. But it's going to be so soft that a lot of times the other one is louder, and that louder voice normally takes over. So you got to find the courage to stand up to that loud mouth other person when you're thinking about the possibilities and you're coming up with forming these clear views. You got to build some courage. How do you build courage? To build courage, you got to take some steps. You got to find some wins. Like every day, you got to get a win. It's usually good to start the morning with a win. Start the morning, go exercise. Start the morning, take some time, meditate, pray, whatever you do, get focused. I was listening to one of my coaches yesterday, and so what he said was, He says, you know, the meditation, like folks always ask them, like, oh, well, how do you meditate? Do I need an app? Do I need music? Do I need this, and this? He was just like, no, you don't need any of that. Like, it's like, you just need to understand it. All with meditation, you gotta sit down, you know, preferably in a chair, on the edge of a chair. A lot of times you see people meditate in there on the ground. They got their legs crossed. I think I've tried that, and I actually like the chair better. Standing, like sitting straight up. If I'm on the edge of my chair, sitting straight up, hands on my knees, eyes closed, focusing in on my breath. And so when you just focusing on your breath, now what's going to happen is your mind is going to wander, because you're going to start thinking about other things. And this happens, right? You're going to start thinking about things. But what you have to do is every time you kind of start going off, you got to come back, and you want to think, continuously think about your breaths in and out, just constantly thinking about your breaths. And every time you go off, you're coming back. What is meditation good for? Here's what it's good for. It's good to teach you focus. See, because what happens is, it's nothing like starting out, right? You come to your desk, you're ready to do something, you get online, maybe you got to go to Google, you got to search for something. So you go search. It comes up, and then bam, a notification hits you. Here it is, you're doing something, but then the notification comes, and what happens? You go to the notification, and now you go down that rabbit hole, and you read this, and this has happened to me. So I can tell you for sure, this is certain. That's why I just had to make a change, that I have to be focused on my thoughts, working on something specific, do that work, and continuously do the work. But a lot of times we come to our desk, we start working, and the next thing you know, we're checking email, we're checking text messages, we're checking notifications, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. We look up, the day's over, and we're just like, man, I got to get that done tomorrow. Has that happened to you? It's happened to me many times. And so because of that, I've had to use meditation so that I can focus my thoughts. I've got to take these 20-minute, 30-minute stops where I do one in the morning, I do one in the afternoon, to collect my thoughts, to focus myself so that I can stay focused on the task. This is the hardest thing, that people are not working. People are checking stuff all day long. There's only a small number of people that's able to stay focused, and it's usually the most successful. So guys, to have this clear view, you're going to need to be focused. You have to be focused. If you are not focused, it's over. It's over. Those possibilities are just going to dwindle away. And so we want to be clear, but here is the last point that I want to make. And when you're looking out, you're on that beach, you're on that dry land, and you're looking out at all these possibilities, because you know that, man, there's more to life. There's more to life than just this life that I'm living. Man, you're looking out, you're seeing the water, you're seeing that, man, God is great, and you're seeing that all things are possible. You're seeing it. Man, so how do I create this word? I'm using this word, create. How do I create so that there are seeds that multiply? See, because most people don't create what they want. What they're creating is what they don't want, because their mind is on different things. They're allowing themselves to get caught up in the part of the game that's basically, the part that you lose in. But here is what I want you to tell you. You have to create. You have to go into a state of creation every single day. See, Genesis shows you how to create. It shows you that you must, hey, good morning, Regina. You must create in order to bear fruit. See, because we're going to get to the fruit part at the end, on Saturday, but you must create. But most people aren't creating. Most people are creating the part of their reality that they don't want. But if we were to all focus in, have a clear view, you've got to get this clear view. And you got to get this clear view in such a way that nothing can shake you. Nothing can shake you. God is standing here. He could have zapped everything. I know he could have. He could have got it all done day one if he wanted. But he had to show you the process. He had to create principles around this law of creation. And so the clear view that you must have, we just talked about 4 C's, right? Clear vision. You've got to see something. You've got to have a clear vision. You have to be certain about what it is that you are going to do. Certainty is actually first. So you must be certain. You got to have a clear vision, but you got to build up your courage. You build up your courage by doing things over and over, by deciding today I'm going to change. Today I'm going to make today great. I'm not going to worry about tomorrow, and I'm not looking back to yesterday. I'm going to make today great. And then you move on to creativity. See, because now when you start to create, when you look at your life and realize that as a tree is used for thousands of things. How many things can you be used for? How many things can come out of you if you understand, creativity, if you understand, courage and certainty and clear vision? If you were to understand all these things, how many things can come out of you? If a tree is standing there, then all it does is stand, it just sits there, has no intelligence, but the tree is used for thousands of things. How much more would you be used for? How much more? Oh, just one? Oh, no. If the tree can be used for thousands, I can guarantee you, there's a lot in there for you. But you got to know that you got a gift, and your gift is unique to you. By using your unique gift, it'll take you to more and more. That's the parable of the talents. That's why Jesus told this parable of the talents. One person had 1, one person had 2, other person had 5. 2 doubled to 4, 5 doubled to 10. The one stayed the same because he was ungrateful. He was ungrateful with what he had, and he decided that, you know what, I'm just going to hold on to this thing. I'm not going to do anything with it. And if you've ever done anything like that, then today I want to release you of that. I want you to take that one thing, because remember what God did was 100-fold. He gave the other 2 100-fold. So imagine you take your 1, it goes to 2. You take your 2, it goes to 4. You take your 4, it goes to 8, 8 to 16. You see the compound effect? It just blows up. But you got to take the one thing that you have, and you gotta take it. You got to build that courage. Have your clear view, have your clear vision. Oh, man, this is good. But you got to use creativity. Creativity is going to get you there in order to have these clear views. Right there, Genesis chapter 1, verse 9 and 10. That's where we started today, because this is where God created basically the earth, the dry land, the seas, the fruits, the trees, and he said that he wanted to create these things so that they would reproduce from their seeds. That is what you are supposed to do, reproduce from the seeds that's inside of you. So guys, I want to thank you for joining me today for Forming Clear Views Enlightenment Series here on Facebook, now on YouTube. If you got value from this program, please like, comment, share across Facebook, across YouTube. Appreciate that. If you have any questions, definitely you can reach out, send me an inbox here on Facebook, or even leave me a comment on YouTube, and I will definitely get back to you. Guys, tomorrow we're going to be talking about systems inside of systems. This is all about creation in the beginning. And guys, I look forward to sharing that word with you tomorrow, and I look forward to seeing you back here 7 o'clock on Facebook Live. And then you catch us on YouTube. Usually YouTube, we come on somewhere between 5, maybe 6 o'clock. I think that's when it gets posted. So I appreciate you guys, and I look forward to seeing you.